From February 9, 2023 to January 18, 2023, the tweet that Imran Khan Sahib made was in your service in the form of audio. Quaid Jinnah was a constitutionalist and genesis of the state of Pakistan is the constitution. Preamble to the constitution states clearly sovereignty belongs to Almighty Allah and the state shall exercise its power and authority through the chosen representatives of the people. Delaying or not holding elections ACC to the constitutional scheme breaches the very foundation of the state. Today, the nation is looking up to the judiciary to safeguard the constitution, and the only way forward is elections within the constitutionally prescribed 90 days. Any breach of the constitutional provision will result in application of the treason clause under Article 6. Our health card was not just to provide a safety net to the vast majority of our POP but also a plan to set up a network of health facilities across POC, especially in rural areas where because of a lack of purchasing power the private sector until now was not willing to set up hospitals. Strongly condemn the repeated police raids on Pervez Elahi's home in Gujarat as well as arbitrary arrests and abductions of his supporters and those who worked with him. This is naked fascism on the part of imported government and their handlers, simply to spread fear in all who support us. Just to remind, arrests of an Actions Ag Sharifs and others during our government were a result of NAB cases with over 95% filed before we were voted into power and of the INT Panama revelations. While in custody they were given VIP treatment. But what they wanted was NRO, which we refused. In contrast, they are using all manner of harassment, arrests, custodial torture and abductions purely for political victimization. They know they can't win any elections, so are trying to beat us down through use of brutal state power. It won't work. Our resolve only gets stronger. I strongly condemn the blocking of Punjab health card scheme, which was a blessing for the vast majority of the population, especially given the crushing inflation eating into their earnings. Moreover, the private sector was in the process of setting up hospitals in the rural areas because of health insurance. This entire project was applauded by the leading INT health journal Lancet. Abolishing it reflects the callous mindset of these two corrupt family parties. Our prayers and condolences go our brethren in Turkey, Syria and Lebanon on the precious lives lost in the devastation of the earthquake. We stand ready to offer all humanitarian assistance needed. On the passing of General Pervez Musharraf, my condolences and prayers go to his family. May Allah give them strength to bear this loss. The vibrant and lively Kashmiris have lost their zeal to live under brutal Indian occupation and oppression in IIOJK. Humans only thrive in free societies. Today all those who value freedom must stand with the Kashmiris in their quest for liberation from illegal Indian occupation. At a time of rising inflation and unemployment, this imported government showed its callousness again by demolishing street vendor carts in Islamabad's I-10 sector provided by our government under Esaz Rarib in Prague. Condemnable inhumane act deliberately targeting the poor and vulnerable. I don't recognize this imported government installed through conspiracy and horse trading. How can SS be so shameless given his gov's destruction in 10 mths of our economy and democracy with brazen fascism, and of fundamental rights and rule of law, and allowing terrorism to spread under its watch? Strongly condemn arrest of Shish Rashid. Never in our history have we had such a biased, vindictive caretaker government apt by totally discredited ECP. Question is, can POC afford a street movement which we are being pushed towards at a time when we have been bankrupted by imported government? Strongly condemn the terrorist suicide attack in Police Lines Mosque Peshawar during prayers. My prayers and condolences go to victims' families. It is imperative we improve our intelligence gathering and properly equip our police forces to combat the growing threat of terrorism. Total mismanagement of our economy by a corrupt and incompetent imported government has crushed masses and salaried class, with latest hike in petrol and diesel prices and 33 rupees per dollar devaluation to 262 rupees and 60 paise per dollar. Elec and gas price hike and 35% unprecedented inflation expected with 200 billion rupees mini budget. Taking Fawad to court handcuffed and head face covered like a terrorist shows the low and vindictive levels imported government and state have reached. The treatment of Fawad Ch and Azam Swati and Gil before him leaves no doubt in people's mind that now we are a banana republic. The law of the jungle now prevails where might is right, and the constitution and law of the land have been totally subjugated by the pharaohs of today. These words from the Holy Quran are very relevant for my team and the people of Pakistan as they confront the tyranny our nation is facing today. The treatment being meted out to Fawad Ch, being abducted, treated like a terrorist, given physical remand on a sham fur, shows all that is wrong with Pak today. There is no justice, just law of the jungle. If state and cabal of crooks think they can create an environment of fear and terrify us into submission, they have got it all wrong. People are more determined to stand up against this fascism in my party, and I are more resolute than ever before to fight against these fascist forces for democracy, rule of law and justice for our people. I will be doing media talk 4 p.m. today. Fawad's arrest on his apt description of the CEC leaves no doubt in anyone's mind that Pak has become a banana republic devoid of rule of law. We must stand up for our fundamental rights now to save Pak's drift towards a point of no return. Lahore rejects this corrupt caretaker CM, a virulent PTI hater and one of the players with ex-COAS, the main architect of regime change conspiracy. His appointment negates the very concept of neutral caretakers. Today there is a complete mockery of justice, ethics and morality in Pak. PMLN has history of selecting their own umpires, but it's incredible how ECP has selected a sworn enemy of PTI as caretaker CM Punjab, a post meant for a non-partisan person. Naqvi also made a voluntary return deal with NAB. SC and Suo Moto case No 17 2016 declared that in a case of voluntary return a person cannot hold any public office at federal or prov level nor in any state org. ECP has helped reduce Pak to a banana republic, making our democracy a joke. I will be holding a presser tomorrow to expose this entire farce. Strongly condemn burning of Holy Quran yesterday at a protest in Sweden. Last March on our Gov's initiative the UNGA passed OIC-sponsored landmark res on International Day to combat Islamophobia. It recognized that Islamophobic acts were not an expression of freedom of speech. This is rule of law where no one is above it. This differentiates prosperous nations from poor ones. No NROs, no Kabza GPS, no custodial torture for tweeting truth app. The powerful Beck justice system protects the weak. Justice was bedrock of Riyasat-e-Medina. When those who worship money and are devoid of any ideology or belief system, are put at helm of affairs, then this is the shameful result. Not only is he clueless why our founding fathers struggled and sacrificed to achieve the dream of Pakistan, but just to get the backing of the LN Dayan lobby, he is also ready to bury the Kashmiri freedom struggle in which over 100k Kashmiris have given their lives. After getting reports on the latest LG elections in Sindh, it is apparent that the PPP has no commitment to fair and free elections. Instead it uses force, blackmail, police harassment, money to get votes. Now also clear why the ECP, cabal of crooks and their handlers sabotaged EVMs. EVMs allow for transparency and immediate results, so prevent rigging, engineering of results. Right now results of LG elections, which SHD have come out within a few hours at most, were coming out in a staggering delay, some for days, allowing for massive foul play. If this is the sort of elections ECP, the state and PDM want, then the stability that elections are meant to bring will not happen. Instead, such manipulated elections will only cause more agitation, polarization and anarchy. From January 18, 2023 to February 9, all the tweet chairman Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf and former Prime Minister Imran Khan Sahib have collected. All the tweets have been collected in the form of audio and video.